Once again, horror proves that it is one of the best platforms for smart social commentary.
One wish, Willow. You only get one wish. I wish Nikki Freeman loved me more than anyone in the entire world.
I love you so much.
Do you still think I'm pretty?
Hey, my name is Alex, and if you're new to the channel, I talk about films in a more conversational way, and I try to answer one simple question. Is it worth the cinema ticket price, or in the case of a TV series, is it worth your time? So, today we're talking about Obsession. The premise of the film is fairly simple. A young man called Bear is obsessed with his colleague Nikki, who only sees him as a best friend. He tries, or at least almost tries, multiple times to take the relationship further. Every attempt fails. One day, after hearing that she lost her favorite necklace, he rushes to the local antique store to buy her a replacement. Instead, he comes across a strange toy, called One Wish Willow, and decides to buy that instead, thinking she might like it. But after so many attempts and with his confidence at rock bottom, he opens it himself as a joke and then makes a wish for Nikki to love him and only him forever. And well, that is exactly what happens. Nikki becomes obsessed with him, and I mean completely obsessed, consumed with him. The kind of obsessed that where she cannot handle being away from him for more than a few minutes. Now, the trailer presents this as a sort of a horror film, and visually it absolutely looks like one. I wouldn't be surprised if this was pitched to financiers as a more traditional horror as well, especially with some of the violent moments later in the film. And yes, we get the classic horror ingredients here, like the deep shadows, the unsettling framing, some brutal violence, and the occasional crushed skull. But surprisingly, the film barely relies on jump scares at all. And honestly, that is a good thing, because instead of trying to scare you in the usual way, the film makes you shiver, makes you deeply uncomfortable. It gets under your skin. So once the premise is established, Obsession slowly turns into a metaphor for abusive relationships. Nikki's obsession with Bear is not willing. There is a spell controlling her behavior, but underneath it all, her real self still exists. And throughout the film, there are moments where that true version of Nikki breaks through and desperately tries to tell Bear that it's not her, it's not her. But those moments slowly disappear as she becomes fully consumed by the obsession. And the fact that she feels trapped inside herself is clearly no accident. And the fact that there is a spell controlling her feels really, really real. Especially if you've met in real life people that are trapped in an abusive relationship, they usually don't realize it and defend their situation fiercely, obviously. But the clever thing here is that Bear is also trapped. At first, the situation is exactly what he wanted. Nikki loves him completely. She dedicates herself entirely to him and never wants to leave his side. Never ever. Not when he wants to spend time with his friends, not when he wants to go shopping, not even when he wants to take a shower. And at one point she duct tapes the inside of the apartment door shut because she cannot bear the thought of him leaving. And if Bear even hints at liking somebody else, well, that is where the horror happens. So soon enough, obviously this makes Bear find himself trapped in a relationship with someone who expects absolute devotion in return. So the problem is that high level of love and emotional intensity that he has for Nikki never matches hers. She refuses to accept rejection and becomes willing to do absolutely anything, and I mean anything, to keep him close. So in reality, both of these characters become different versions of real people trapped in a deeply harmful relationship with terrible consequences if they try to escape. And the film handles this idea beautifully. Sometimes the message is subtle, other times it's incredibly direct in your face, but it remains compelling throughout the film. And the two lead actors, who I've never seen before, to be honest, they're both excellent here. The writing gives them a lot to work with, and these characters feel layered, believable and relatable most of all. And the director, Curry Barker, handles the material with confidence and very few missteps. He always focuses on what matters, never stirs away in other topics, side topics of the main theme, main message. He stays true to the story, and he never underestimates the audience either. I always felt like there's something coming up. There's the next level of the situation, of the development of the story being developing. So yes, this is a film that is definitely worth the ticket price. When you take such a heavy subject like abuse and approach it through a genre that allows audiences to engage with it in a different way, well, that is worth celebrating. That is my review of Obsession. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. My name is Alex. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.